Hello, my name is Katie and welcome to my shed. I've got a painting that I want to get done. So yeah, that's why we're here, and I'm multitasking. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Katie and I kind of hang out in my shed most of my free time when I'm not at work, making a bit of a mess, or a lot of a mess, don't look around too closely, and painting. I would say now that I'm a mixed media artist, and it's weird because my journey's kind of evolved. I started off as a printmaker, then I was doing pastels and then into acrylics, and now into mixed media, where I can do all of the things because I like doing all of the things. So it seems silly to just stick to one thing. But somebody asked me a few weeks ago about acrylics and did I use acrylics, and I did. I just realised I hadn't painted with acrylics for a long while on this channel, and so I thought I would do that. But also we've got a friend who is house sitting for us when we're on holiday, and he'd said he's moved into a new place and he was like, I really would like a painting of yours, and I was like, sure. I mean, he offered to buy it, and I figured that a painting was a very small price to pay for someone house sitting and looking after that cat of ours, because as you know, she's a menace, and it is a brave person that wants to look after that cat. So that's what I'm going to do today. He wanted something relaxing, like riverside kind of image. And I have got a few photos on my phone and I might use those, but then I figured, I don't know if you've watched my shorts, but if you've seen my shorts, I've been doing lots of miniature landscapes, and in there I've done 3 that have got rivers in, and I thought I might just take inspiration from that and just upscale it and not do it in 10 minutes like these take. I've got this one, which is a little bit boring but is quite nice and relaxing. This one, which is actually the same image but done with, they were meant to be cows. I mean, I might try and put a cow in, I'm not sure how brave I'm feeling. And then I've got this one, which I really like, but I don't know if it might be a little bit bold and abstracted for him. So I think I'm going to go something a little bit in between, so something fairly recognisable, not too abstract, but quite bold. That's the plan. Using these as inspiration, so I'm going to pop these over there for inspiration. I'm painting it on a piece of board, so it's just a very thin piece of MDF, which I've just gessoed one side. I like using clear gesso, so the one I'm using, it's getting a little empty now, is the Winsor Newton Artist Acrylic Clear Gesso. The reason I like that is because some of the natural, it's not natural, is it? Because MDF, some of the MDF colour, the browns will come through, that sort of neutral colour, which provides quite a nice base to paint on. And also, when I'm working acrylics, I often layer it, so I'll paint it, I might knock it back, sand it back a little bit, put some more gesso over the top, and just try and make it a little bit more textured. So that's why I like this one. And it does dry pretty quick, it's nearly dry. So then I'll flip it, gesso the other side, and we can start painting. When I'm gessoing, I don't know if you can see on here, I like quite blocky marks, so I do put my gesso on quite blocky, and the next layer, the next coat I do will kind of go opposite to that and just enhance it. You don't really need to see me doing that, it's really boring to watch, so I'm going to do it and I'll come back to you and we're going to start drawing this out. Oh, the other reason I like these boards is I can either just pop them straight into a frame, you can take the glass out and just frame them that way. What I like doing is just mounting them straight onto the wall, so tidy up the edges a bit and then pop something like command strips on the back, and then you can just stick it on the wall. And I don't know, I have a mixture in my house, I've got a mixture of things that I've painted and stuck straight on and some things that I've framed, but it gives you options to do it either way. Enough talking? So I'm going to use, I want to use this one as my inspiration. We'll sketch it out. Right, we'll start by getting in the sky. It was one of those days that was cloudy with a bit of blue in it, so we'll go with that. And then we're going to work our way forward. Let's, oh, jeez. I've not been drinking, I promise. Although it does feel like it, doesn't it? So we're using a combination. I've got some System 3 in Wedgwood. This is one of my favourite paints. That one is Liquitex Heavy Body, Brilliant Purple. This is the Holbein Acrylic Aqua Blue. As you can see, I am not particularly loyal to any one brand of acrylic. It used to be Liquitex all the way, and then I started trying other ones and realised I liked other ones too, but I think the heavy bodies are my favourite. And I'm going to use some of the golden matte acrylic So Flat in white. Alright, should we make a start? A decent sized brush. I quite like a... Could use one of my mediums, couldn't we? If you didn't watch a couple of weeks ago, I won a giveaway. So I tend to dilute it down and work slightly thinner to start with, and I like using the Galleria matte medium. If you use water, it just tends to lose some of its vibrancy, so this works better, I find. These are nice brushes. Let's start with some of the more vibrant blue. And what I want is it to feel brighter over here, cloudier in the distance, but so it's bright kind of where we're standing and over where the cows are, if there are indeed any cows going in. And then further away it's going to be grey and a bit more menacing. Okay, well I've got the groundwork done. With I love this colour here. I'm going to try and leave that as I can. I just want to do something here Don't really like this too much. This was the cad yellow and some Payne's grey, and then a bit, I think I did a bit of blue into it as well. But I don't quite love it. At the moment I'm quite liking these rough marks with some of these slightly more blocky stripy ones, but I think I'll probably do some more there as well. And then this is obviously just getting in a little bit of darkness to the bottom. But yeah, I think the next thing I need to do is sort these greens out because I don't really love that. I do want something a little bit more, I want to say English summertime, but not the one we're having where everything is brown and crusty. We don't want that. That's not going to make for a nice painting. I really am liking that brush though, that medium brush. That's the acrylic brush, and it's really nice to use. I'm loving this texture here. Right, I want to do something with the water. I'm going to apologise if you find me quite chaotic when I'm doing acrylics. I am, because I always say I'm going to start at the back and work my way forward, and then I get bored and get distracted, and yeah. I just like to move around the page. I never really know what's going to happen. This paint is a bit old and crusty now, but so I'm just using Prussian blue with some of that phthalo green to try and get a dark, but they're both quite dry. So I'm going to use quite a lot of this matte medium, which I'm not sure is going to work great, but this, that's a funny colour. I think that needs to be a bit darker. What I'm going to do actually is leave it to dry, and then we'll do some pencil over it. There's some air in here before I expire. Okay, I mean, we've got a way to go still, but I am pleased with how far we've come. I like this grass. I'm liking the sky at the moment. Obviously it needs more detail here, and I need to decide if I'm going to be brave enough to chuck a cow in it or not. I'm not sure about that at the moment. Just need to find my blade, see if I can scratch that off. But we're looking good. Right, I think I'm going to leave you now. What is the time? Yep, I'm going to leave you now, and I will see you on Friday. I will see you on Friday. Bye. Afternoon. It's a few days later. How are you? Have you had a good week? Good. Glad to hear it. I really like this painting. And I don't think it needs much more, if I'm honest. I'm worried I might ruin it if I do too much more. It kind of feels really serene, and yeah, I like it. So I need to work out what I'm going to do to it. I did want to do the cows. I don't know that that's the right thing to do, but what I might do is just draw them out on some tape and stick them on and see what it looks like. Or I thought maybe a kingfisher, because they're quite fun, but that would just be like a tiny little dot along there. Definitely needs a bit more texture, because the texture that we've got is great, but it's just not enough. So we're going to do a few more layers here, a bit more texture. But I think overall it's quite a nice little painting. I'm pleased. Right, let's turn you around and get painting. Okay, I've done a very high quality kingfisher. Ta-da! I tried the cows. It just was not working. Did not like it. But the plan would be to pop something. Maybe, you know how they buzz along this side of the river and you barely see them? Like something like there, maybe? I'm not sure if it needs it. But I do love a little bird. Right, what we're going to do is put in some more detail here. I wasn't sure if this needs a little bit of work. Just lightening up a very touch, a tiny bit. And I need to just try and get that little bit of paint off here. Let's start with that. So let's get this sky and this bit sorted and then make a decision about the little kingfisher. Right, sorry, I got called away and distracted by the man coming to measure up windows for the garage conversion, if we get around to doing it. This, just coming back to the original picture, so this was what is inspired this one. Just because I'm trying to work out this here, and I actually don't know that this is the right colour. I've got a bit of it now to use, so I'm going to have to use a little bit of it, just because I don't want one splotch of that. I need it to go along. Then I'm going to get in a few highlights, pop in like the lily pads, is that what they're called? And then I was thinking, obviously we've got the idea of the kingfisher, but I did find this photo on my phone if I can find it now, that somebody sent me. This one here. So that might be quite nice. Mightn't it? I actually think these are the same patches of river. That's not the right word. Areas of river, because they were both taken. I'm sure they were the same people. Anyway, I am waffling. I'm going to try and get some foreground in. I'm so pleased with those. They're really simple, but you know, I like to go big and messy, and they're not big and messy, so, but I think that is enough. They're not perfect, but I think there's enough there. I like to feel better about it, but I do need some. It's this tiny patch here that I'm not loving. I think we need to get rid of them. I'm going to keep faffing, but it's not going to make it any better. Just messaged my friend because I didn't send a picture, but just feels a little safe. Is it too safe? I don't know. Doesn't feel as loose as I'd like, but I have been working very, very loose recently, so maybe I just need to accept that it's a different kind of painting. Maybe now and again it's going to be a different kind of painting. I cannot get the right green for this. By the way, I just put in some tiny touches of ochre and a little bit more of that lilac. I don't actually know if it's called lilac. Brilliant purple. And I really like that. Just tiny little touches. Right, I'm going to leave it be and come back tomorrow. See you later. What hand am I using? Good morning. We are on Saturday now, and I've come back to try and sort out my mess, basically. It's not as hideous as I remember, so that's the result. But it's still got a way to go. So the area of my concern is this area here and some of the water. So we're just going to go over it again and see if we can get it back to its former glory. I've had to put the light on in here because despite it being summer now, it is the first day of the kids' school holidays. So it's raining. So the last 6 weeks has been crazy hot, and now it's raining, of course. Anyway, right, let's turn you around. Let's try and get this finished because I think it's been going on long enough. And yeah, it was so close to being done. So let's get it done. Okay, let's see what we can do. Just mixed up this green, and that is with Prussian blue and some cat yellow, because I just feel like we need to do something underneath that we can paint over the top. The thing is, I don't mind this, it just doesn't really go with, maybe if I bring it along, let's do this. We'll block this off. And then go in. Love this colour, it's lovely. I know it's not to everyone's taste, but right, where's my scratchy scratcher? was so much harder than it should have been, that whole process. I think it was one of them ones that I should have stopped 2 days ago, because I've gone round in a big full circle and I've gone back to where we were pretty much. But you know, sometimes when you do paintings you have to mess it up to unmess it up and realise it was okay in the first place, and that was this one. So here we are. I do like it. I don't know that it's got quite as much texture and interest as I would normally like. But I said this as I was painting it. I think because recently I've been doing all these mixed media where there's so much going on. And you just can't do that. Well, I can't do that with the acrylics. I can't. I tried to do mixed media. I tried to make it a bit more, with a bit more going on, and it didn't work because of lots of reasons probably. I think doing it on the board is harder. I think the acrylics, I just think there's loads of reasons, and that didn't quite turn out how, not turn out, but the going down the mixed media route didn't work as well as I'd liked. And I'm still sitting here thinking, oh, I want to put some pencil on it. But I can't. We've already tried that. We know it didn't work. So I'm going to stop doing that. I think what I need to do is just leave it for a little while. I mean, it's not going to be left that long because I'm giving it to a friend who's house sitting in a few days. I don't know if it needs framing. That's my next challenge. I was hoping I might have a frame of the right size just to put it in to have a look, but I don't. If I do frame it up, I will pop a photo of it in now. And if I do... Okay, what do you think? I think it looks better. Most things look better with a frame on them, don't they? You're getting a lot of reflection, but apologies for that. But yeah, I think hopefully overall you can see it looks better. Back to me now. If I do not, it's going to stay looking like this. I have just painted the edges of the board, see there, so that it can get stuck straight onto the wall. Let's pop it over the back here. Yeah, I quite like it. Is it my favourite thing I've ever painted? Definitely not. But I do quite like it. I think maybe these swans are a little bit too safe for me, a little bit twee, but okay. I think we've spent enough time you watching me looking at that. I'm going to thank you very much for watching. Bit of a strange one. I don't know whether I love acrylics as much as I used to now. Whether I just need to get back into it a bit and maybe work out how I can make the acrylics work how I want to work at the moment. Or do I just decide I like doing that separate, you know, I have different things I do when I'm in different moods. Does that make sense? Possibly. What else have I got to say to you? I don't think there's much to say. I think that it didn't really rain very much. We just got a few bits of spitty rain. It would be quite nice to have some proper rain because I mean everything's dead. It's quite sad. So I hope you have a lovely week. Next week we're going to be back with a let's pack up my sketching travel kit, my art travel kit. What's the wording we use? I don't know. That's going to be next week's video. And then I think the one after that I'm hoping will be a let's paint in Canada, which is exciting. Blue tits are having so much fun out there. I won't film that for you. Okay. Gosh, I like to waffle, don't I? So I had my first hype this week, or the first hype that I know of, because I don't actually know what it does or how you find out if you've been hyped. Someone messaged me and said they'd hyped me, so thank you Susan for that. That was very kind of you. if any more of you want hype, let's see what it does. I haven't had any notifications from YouTube saying I've been hyped, so maybe it's just like a magical thing that I have no idea what it does. Anyway, feel free to do that. Please do chat with me in the comments, because I like chatting, and let me know at what minute you would have stopped, because I think I should have stopped 2 days ago. Let me know what you think. And what else would you like to do? Also, if you would like to oh my goodness, it's not even late and I still can't get my words up. If you could like the video, that would be amazing. And if you don't watch my shorts, go over there. I've been doing some really fun shorts. I might show those maybe on next week's video. I'll show them at some point, because I've been having so much fun doing them. I'm basically using an old bird book that I've got, and I'm not copying them because my drawings are not like theirs, but using them and then creating my own pieces, and it's just lots of fun, and I don't really have to think about it too much. I'm just throwing everything at it, which is my favourite thing to do at the moment. Definitely waffling. Have a lovely week, and I will see you soon. Bye.